Hello everyone, this is Jordan, and today, as it's Friday, it's time for us to go ahead and summarize the trades and ideas that we've been talking about during the past week, guys. First of all, before we move on, happy holidays to everyone who was celebrating yesterday. And that being said, I would like to also invite you to our special offer for the newly released SRS Pro. We did the launch just a few days ago. It is absolutely new, designed from the scratch system. You know, SRS has a long history of success, and the SRS Pro you can enjoy now. It's a special offer for the next 48 hours because of Halloween, so please go ahead and check it out. You can find this offer at vladimirribakov.com/special Halloween offer. Of course, this link will be included below in the comment section, guys. That being said, time for us to go ahead and see how the report was developed during the weekend, what was traded and what was not. If you're not part of the TAC club, just a few words about the report, guys. This is how it looks like. We have introduction video on the top, basically tutorial on how to use all the information provided here. Then you have a few webinars, educational webinars, which are explaining the way we trade and what we're looking for. Of course, this is just a small fraction of our video library. So if you're part of the club, please, once you cover these videos, go ahead and cover the other videos, guys, because they're really valuable and it will give you a lot of skills for the longer term. Below, of course, is our watch list, where you can find the table plus the comments, which are giving you small highlights and explanations. Now, let's go to the actual charts. First of all, Aussie franc is something we've been following and trading for the past few weeks. It did deliver amazing, starting with the weekly chart. That was the bearish cycle. This is where we got the confirmations that we should be looking for at least pullbacks in the next few months or weeks. On the daily chart, leg number one was developed, pullbacks, and then we started focusing on leg number two, and that was the 4-hour chart right here, where we said running buys. And the idea for Aussie franc, since it came to this level, created this double top, and we were looking for possible bearish divergence with this tick down at the end of the day. Let's just go to the actual live chart. I'm gonna zoom in here a bit so I can show you what we mean. That was the yesterday's candle, right? And this is the double top we're referring to. So double top plus confirmed divergence. We said, okay, no more buys for us. If this candle closes as it closed here with the divergence confirmed, we are getting out of the buys and we're going to look for the next opportunities. It was a nice run upwards, so we did catch that move, more or less profitable after all. So let's see how it develops and the next ways for us to join. Then we have Aussie Kiwi, another Aussie pair, and here the idea started from the monthly chart. Special cycle, bearish special cycle, false breaks, double bottom here was created, divergences, second one, and bullish pressure ever since based on the monthly chart. Weekly chart, we have this range right here, and since we tested last time, we tested the bottom, the expectation is now, along of course with the other confirmations, to see highs and Probably, of course, we need to see how it develops on the way up. Maybe there will be signs against it, but as long as those signs, the bearish signs, are not there, we're expecting it to continue bullish. This is the structure that we enjoyed on the last, let's say, weeks. Okay, that was 3+2 kind of structure, and the idea was to look for the buys and to buy pullbacks. So if you go to the report, for example, you can go ahead and see the explanation. Special cycle, this weekly, monthly chart, we have the special cycle. Weekly chart, we have the range. Daily, we have 3+2 waves, buy pullbacks plan. If histogram ticks down to complete bearish divergence, we stop looking for these buys. So if we go ahead, sorry, not this chart, if we go ahead and check out this one on the daily chart, we can see once again very similar situation as we had with the Aussie franc. The divergence was completed, which means we want to invalidate and stop looking for the buys. Okay, we get signs against it. That means we're either going to move lower or get at least pullbacks based on this divergence. That's why there is no need for us to be stuck with the buy opportunities. Okay, next we have Aussie dollar. We just close that. Aussie dollar. Okay, bullish divergence, expectation for the price to continue higher. Daily chart, double bottom, again bullish divergence, and we started being focused on this high. On the first push up, we never managed to break above. So during these pullbacks here, we said, okay, we're expecting one more push higher. Whether we're going to bounce and create a range and continue lower, or we are going to break out and continue higher, it didn't really matter, because what we were looking for is to trade this pullback and that leg upwards. So this is exactly what we got in this case. Okay, we got the trendline breakouts. We got 1 hour chart setups here as well, which also provided basically multiple ways for us to go ahead and trade this specific condition. And then after this trade was completed, we saw the breakout upwards, and now we have bearish divergence against. So for us, that means, here it is, after the divergence is completed, we're expecting to see pullbacks. But since we got the breakout above this thing, we are creating momentum, okay, with this divergence in place. And we got the close above with the daily candle before that, 2 days ago. We're most likely going to get pullbacks and continuation upwards. So Aussie dollar currently remains bullish. Of course, with all the buys on the way that we managed to enjoy. Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie is based on the weekly triple cycle. This one bullish cycle, we got the divergences, and this is where we said, okay, we should probably start looking for the sells if we get some sort of confirmations there. On the daily chart, we got double top right here, and then followed by this false break. Of course, bearish pressure on the way, and after we started the breakouts, or aggressively, of course, with divergences, we wanted to see sells. So this is the trendline breakout. It managed to hold there, this trendline breakout and that specific level, and ever since then we saw this amazing push to the downside, provided nice sell opportunity, and we got the profits. So that's basically about Euro Aussie. Very nice trade, and next week we'll see how and where we're going to look for the next possible opportunities for it. Euro CAD, also starting from the weekly chart. Whether you can see that as triple or double cycle, it wouldn't really matter, because here we got bullish divergence. Okay, and that means we're likely going to see pullbacks to the upside. On the daily chart, we got false break 1, false break 2, all that coming with bullish divergence and bullish pressure. And on the very last period, we saw this spike upside. Now here we can also see another possibility, which is going to be a range. So we need to pay attention to how this thing is going to develop currently. But bottom line is the bullish pressure which was created from these two candles provided nice buy opportunities. And right here on the 4-hour chart already we can see the breakout of this trend line. So again, critical zone to see whether this is going to turn into range or pullbacks and continuation. Of course, we are going to follow up on the way this thing is developing, because we don't have crystal balls, we don't read the future, we just work with the facts. Euro pound. Now Euro pound was a bit boring this week, to be honest. The expectation here is to go ahead and reach these levels approximately. Okay, this is the pattern that we're following. We have the wave on the weekly chart, and this is where we stand on daily chart. Okay, no divergences, pullbacks expected here, and those pullbacks are very likely going to develop as a flat correction, which is already happening, by the way. On the 4-hour chart, the idea of course is to sell any rally, to sell any pullback. Or if we're going to be stuck in a range, which seems to be the case, we can be looking to sell the breakouts of this flat consolidation pattern. Euro Kiwi is the next one. For Euro Kiwi, guys, we saw, first of all, we have the big one, second of all, we have this one, and third of all, we have that one. Those are 3 cycles, and basically they're giving us the same spot, that one. Bearish pressure, and boom, we saw immediate spike to the downside from these levels, bouncing off of them. And the idea here was, after we got this multi-phase or impulsive move, to look for pullbacks that we can later on go ahead and sell. And this is exactly what happened. We got the rally, short-term rally, we got the bearish hidden divergence, we got the confirmation on the 1-hour chart or trendline breakouts. Doesn't really matter what you're using for the actual entries. That was triggered and it really delivered very nice sell opportunity. So Euro Kiwi also paid fantastic, and overall this week in terms of manual trading we really killed it. There was a lot of volatility, very technical setups, which is absolutely perfect for us. Moving on to Euro Dollar. Euro Dollar, after this historical cycle or corrective cycle to the downside, many people will see it differently. Facts are, we have bullish pressure, cycle is completed, the waves are completed, and we started looking for buys based on that. Daily chart, bullish divergence, breakout, pullbacks and buys. That was the plan for the, I don't know, last 1 or 2 weeks. And then on the lower time frames, we managed to get the pullback. So this is the first thing we wanted to see, double wave. ABCD was delivered. This is where we got 1-hour chart breakout. So it becomes more aggressive because we are starting from weekly chart, daily and 4-hour. This is the cycle that we're working on. If you drop to the 1 hour chart, it means you're working with daily, 4 hour and 1 hour. So it becomes a bit more aggressive, but still absolutely valid. I personally did trade the 1 hour chart idea here with this fantastic setup. If you missed it, the idea would be still the same. After this impulsive move, we are looking for further continuations to the upside. Okay, we got the breakout now, and we can clearly see the momentum here is in place. So euro dollar, also amazing opportunity. Kiwi dollar is the last forex pair, and for Kiwi dollar we can say the following. First of all, we have multiple waves for us to create this triple cycle, the bullish divergence in place, and this is where we set the bullish pressure and the buy ideas. On the daily chart, we got also the divergence. The first divergence and false break that was created here failed. Okay, it pushed lower, cleaning more stops, and after that the actual move started to create this fantastic bullish momentum up. 4 hour chart, pretty similar situation as with the euro dollar. Here we got this kind of move and then the trend line breakout. So aggressive traders probably would be looking to buy something like that on the 1 hour chart if available on your specific broker as a setup, because of these fast moves. And if not, then again, trend line breakout, looking for bullish continuations. Natural gas, I've said that many times, and I believe that was one of the setups of the year, one of the best setups of the year, simply because too many things fit into the same idea, into the same direction. It was a very technical idea and setup. We got the cycle first of all on the weekly chart with this bullish divergence, which for us meant buys. Then on the daily, we got divergence, convergence, looking for pullbacks and continuations, and that convergence was confirmed on the 4 hour chart by this multi-phase impulsive move, which meant looking to buy pullbacks, and the thing just started moving higher afterwards, exactly as expected. Now for natural gas, there is another thing which is called seasonality, and during the winter periods, usually December is the spike where we see the highest prices. Of course, it could vary a few weeks plus minus, but if you're still holding these buys and the swaps and fees are not a problem for you, or you're not trading a contract which is going to expire, you can hold it, and December should be approximately a time range that you should focus on. Now here we have another thing to mention, which is basically, let's go to the live chart, which is basically that on daily chart we have reached the previous swing high, and we do have, let me zoom in, the possibility to create divergence here. If today's bar or candle closes as it is, that will be confirming bearish divergence, which in other words means it would be nice to cash out either the entire position if you're completely technical trader and you don't care about the other stuff, or at least cash out partially around these levels and wait for the pullbacks to be over with possible continuation. There are multiple ways you can approach this situation. If you want to put all the money in the pocket, cash out and wait for some sort of pullback, then join again. Okay? Because as long as this low is holding, we remain bullish. In terms of time and seasonality, we remain bullish. So it's just, in my opinion, a temporary pullback that will provide us with the next buy opportunity. Alright, that's about natural gas. Buyer is one interesting update for us, and after it came pretty close to this trend line. It started the push again upward. So in the past few weeks we are seeing this bullish continuation. It's fantastic. Just as a quick reminder, buyer is based on the weekly chart and this special cycle, so this is where we started to look for the buys. Deutsche Bank, on the other hand, is not that interesting because it's still stuck inside this range. The bullish pressure is still there. We're expecting it to continue higher, but it takes time to develop us again. This is weekly chart. So that would be all for this week, guys. Again, SRS Pro launched special offer in the next 48 hours. Go ahead, check out all the details. I think you're going to love it. You can find all available links in the comment section below or the description section, sorry. And last but not least, join us in our free Telegram community where me and Vladimir are posting trading ideas, educational materials, basically on daily basis. So that would be all. Wishing you a fantastic weekend. Bye for now.